So Baltimore Ravens second-year wide receiver Zay Flowers continues to absolutely dominate in training camp. He's not just doing this against a Joe Schmo defense. He's doing this against the number one defense in the NFL in 2023, plus a defense that just stocked up in the secondary with guys like Marlon Humphrey, Nate Wiggins, Brandon Stevens, Kyle Hamilton, and Marcus Williams. Zay Flowers earned the trust as Lamar Jackson's number one wide receiver last year in his MVP campaign and went for over 1,000 yards whenever you include the playoffs with that 115-yard and one touchdown game in the AFC Championship last year versus the Kansas City Chiefs. Zay Flowers has been creating elite separation ever since his college days in Boston College, but he fell to the Ravens because of his size. A very similar question that Tyreek Hill had to answer whenever he entered the NFL. But not only does Zay Flowers have elite downfield speed, his change of direction is absolutely tremendous. He consistently makes guys miss with jukes and elite change of direction, whether it's in the route or after the catch. Zay Flowers, he's got a very special skill set that very few players in the NFL have. And if you thought Zay Flowers and Lamar Jackson had some chemistry last year, just wait until the 2024 regular season, whenever the Ravens kick off versus the Kansas City Chiefs in about 30 days. Here's Lamar Jackson on his second-year wide receiver.
Playmaker, you're counting on Zay Flowers. Do you know the difference between last year being a rookie coming in, eyes wide open, and this year?
To be honest, he's just like, man, he's just that same guy. You know, he's still that guy, man. He's just a year older, I say. A year mature, and he's still doing the same thing. You know, amazing lightning speed, lightning routes, great hands. That's what you want from a receiver.
Yeah. Next up, we got Lamar Jackson talking about his weight, which was a big topic of conversation whenever he reported to minicamp, reportedly looking much leaner, much lighter, and said he wanted to be a little bit faster. He wanted to have more explosion whenever he made those scrambles. And here's what Lamar Jackson had to say about being a little bit lighter.
Explain to me how cool this is, because I know the community here, they absolutely love you, but we had fans just the whole morning just screaming your name.
Man, that's crazy. It's just all love in Baltimore, great city, great fan base, just great all around. Overall, just great atmosphere. I love it.
How you feeling this year? Talk about the weight, up, down, weight. What are you feeling good at?
I feel great, man. I feel great. I'm 200 pounds right now. I'm feeling great. Feeling wonderful, man. 205 actually, but I'm feeling great, man. Flying around, throwing the ball, spinning it well. We're looking good. So, yeah.
At number 3, we got to talk about another player that is really in line for a breakout year, especially after what John Harbaugh had to say about him today. That's Travis Jones. He says he feels like having a rush plan this season will take him to another level this year. Travis Jones has had an excellent training camp, has been reportedly unblockable at times, consistently blowing stuff up as a run defender and as a pass rusher. He's been causing the offensive line problems pretty much every practice, and John Harbaugh predicted a breakout. Here's what he had to say.
So far, and what do you envision the next steps being for him?
Yeah, well, I think I said before, I expect his next step to be a breakout season. He's a dominant guy in there right now. And whenever somebody blocks him, I just think it's a superhuman feat almost when somebody blocks him in there. He's like a superhuman player. So we'll see if it pans out in the games. I know it's a high tag to put on him, but let's go for it.
Whenever you're a head coach who's been around football for longer than a lot of people have been alive, whenever he calls a player superhuman, it's something to take stock in, right? Like, you don't just throw that around lightly. Travis Jones, I remember him whenever he came in as a rookie. Michael Pierce said that he was the strongest player on the Baltimore Ravens, that he just has freakish, superhuman strength. Every once in a while in his rookie and sophomore tape, you just see him absolutely throw a 320-pound guard or center right into the lap of the quarterback like they were just an absolute ragdoll, like he was a varsity player playing on a middle school team, just throwing guys around like it's nobody's business. The problem is it hasn't always been consistent, and there's some really good and really strong offensive linemen at the NFL level that have been able to counter what Travis Jones likes to do, and that's just bull rush guys right into the backfield using his strength. And he also has very underrated quickness for his size, but he feels like having a rush plan this year and being more technically sound is the key to his breakout. Now, you can't blame him when you have that type of size, strength, and speed on that frame. You can rely on it a little bit too much. You can just say, well, I'm just going to use my strength. I'm going to blow this guy up. But whenever you start to incorporate some swims and some push-pulls, and you start to recognize when you can shoot gaps and take that, technical IQ part of the football to the next level, paired with those physical freakish tools, you're looking for a you're looking for a dominant type of player. And that's what John Harbaugh is thinking. That's what a lot of the coaching staff and teammates are saying about Travis Jones. Now, if Travis Jones breaks out and becomes an elite player next to Justin Madubuike, who just got a, record-setting contract extension and led the entire NFL in defensive lineman sacks last year with 13 sacks, you pair those two up together, playing at an elite level, man, that's going to cause so many issues, just blowing stuff up on fronts of offenses. It's going to disrupt, passing timing. It's going to disrupt, run schemes, and it's just going to cause major disruption and also open up a lot for these edge rushers like Odafe Owe, David Ojabo, Kyle Van Noy, Tavius Robinson, and these guys to get after the quarterback off the edge. And then you got the elite secondary back there. The defense could be really good if another one of these guys on the defensive line really breaks out with that type of year. At number 4, on the other side of the ball in the trenches, on the offensive side, Tyler Linderbaum, we got an injury update here. He has a soft tissue injury. He will be out tomorrow, just for the Ravens to be extra cautious. It's nothing too serious, according to reports, but something to keep an eye on. The only concern there for me is if Tyler Linderbaum were to miss any time, what's the backup plan look like? Because we lost Tristan Colon. He signed with another team. Patrick McCarry's been playing a lot of offensive tackle, though he has backed up the center position before. And then you got the rookie Nick Samak. But here's what John Harbaugh had to say on that injury.
Yeah.
John, you did see Tyler Linderbaum out there. Anything?
Minor soft tissue kind of thing. We'll keep him out today. We'll keep him out tomorrow, and then he should be back sometime next week. And we'll be, very patient with Tyler. He's having a great camp, and some of those young guys need a little more work anyway, so it kind of works out for us.
At number 5, just for fun, we got to show you Lamar Jackson, where he landed on the Madden rankings. He was the number 2 quarterback overall behind Patrick Mahomes, 1 point behind Mahomes. He was a 98. Mahomes was a 99. The next best quarterback is Burrow. And I know this is a football game, but it's actually pretty indicative to how good these quarterbacks are in real life. If you want to look at just how elite the AFC is as a whole, the quarterback talent in the AFC that the Ravens have to get through if they want to go win a Super Bowl, the top 4 quarterbacks on this list are all AFC players. Patrick Mahomes, Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, and Josh Allen, all in the same conference fighting it out. And then at 6 and 7, you have 2 other AFC quarterbacks in Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Herbert. So to say that the AFC is loaded with quarterback talent is an understatement. And that's not to mention that CJ Stroud, who's not on this list, should be on this list, and had a pretty dominant rookie year and is now even got some more weapons on his offense and, an improved defense. Like, look out for the AFC. It's loaded, and the Ravens have their work cut out if they want to make a run at this Lombardi Trophy, which I believe they can do. They have the guys on the roster. They have the coaching staff in place. I cannot wait to see what this offense looks like with Zay Flowers in year 2, Todd Monken as the coordinator in year 2. Derrick Henry, the first year in this offense, that's just an absolute workhorse, elite running back. And then you got, Rashad Bateman. Then you got 2 elite tight ends and Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. You got playmakers all over the football field. And if you want to key in on Lamar Jackson, be my guest, because there's going to be tons of other guys that can hurt you and consistently make plays for this offense. Do me a favor, if you enjoyed today's content, go ahead, leave the video a like. It really helps out the channel. Don't forget to turn your subscribe and notification bell on so you stay up to date on all of your Ravens news, content, updates, everything we got planned for you guys. Man, I know we keep talking about it, but it keeps getting closer and closer. 7 days until our first preseason game versus the Eagles. 34 days until kickoff versus the Chiefs. And we had our first NFL action last night with the NFL Hall of Fame game in preseason. So football is officially back. I'm fired up for it. I got my fantasy draft coming up here soon as well. Let me know in the comments section below, if you guys are playing fantasy, when your draft is, who your top targets are, man. Thank y'all for tuning in. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all, and we'll see you in the next video.
Ray, when he wasn't looking, he ran me over.